It is time for the American Express Championship Tournament here to get our new PGA season kicked off here, following Miles Champion in his attempt to rise the ranks of golf lore to become a legend in and of himself. So welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you are a current subscriber. Welcome if you're new here. Hope you enjoy it. And let's go ahead and jump on into this new EA Sports PGA Tour career series that we got going. And we are at the American Express Championship looking at the first hole on this course, which is generally, it hasn't played the toughest, right? Like, we've had our up and down moments, but we do find ourselves at 19 under in second place after 3 days. So we are here in the fourth round. We will be playing alongside the likes of Scotty Scheffler as we duel it out to try and get our first win. So on the first hole, a 440-yard par 4, we're going to take our driver off the tee because I don't do anything other than that except for when the time calls. And we're going to blast that one right down landed in the middle, but kind of coast over to the right side there, almost in the first cut. The swing strength is what's kind of interesting. So you can really do the overswing on the backswing, but the forward swing, it's one of those ones that seems more difficult to time out with getting the thumb movement just correct to get the full kind of power swing behind it. Now Scheffler, he's going to take his driver and he just blasts one right down the middle of the fairway. No problem, no need to get close to the first cut of the rough or anything like that. He just blasted. He's got a 294-yard drive off his first tee box. Now, a good thing about him is that we did outdrive him on that time at least, so he is going to be the first one to hit his approach shot from the fairway. And he is the leader right now, and that ball is tracking beautifully within range of the pin, and it's going to hit and roll up right next to it. Okay, this is what we're having to deal with. He's within 3 feet from the pin. And we are sitting here at 147 yards away from the pin trying to match that. Needing to match his pace is what we have to do. So we do have a 9-iron from 147 yards. As we put a decent looking swing on that one, it is flying towards the pin just slightly to the right. Needed a good bounce and it's going to hit and stick in the fringe. So not even getting the green in regulation on this first hole. But chipping is something we're pretty decent at. We got a semi-decent short game, so we've got a chance here. As we strike that first chip, it's tracking and it's going to be in. Knock in the birdie. Who needs a putter when you have a wedge like we got? As we get a birdie on the first hole to move us to 20 under par, which is going to be 3 back of the leader, assuming he misses this putt. Scheffler gives a little tappy right down the middle of the cup. Not nearly as exciting. He's at 24 under now. This is going to be a long kind of round trying to catch up to him. So after 1, we do trail by 4 still. Now we're going to move on ahead to the par 3 fourth hole, sitting at 192 yards is the length of this hole. So we're going to have to see with where our tee box location is. We're at 180 yards away, especially with the hole being at the front side of the green. So 180 yards away, we are going to be taking a 6-iron off this tee box. So we hit it a little softer than full strength, but that should help us kind of get a smooth landing area. As it hits the front, it's tracking towards the pin, and it goes right past the lip. Woo, we were on point right there. And it rolls and stops to less than 5 feet from the pin, barely missing the cut by just a mere inch, it looked like. So now here comes Scheffler, still the leader of the tournament. As he takes a good swing at his, it's going to be a little to the left of the green is how it's looking, unless he can get a good bounce, and he does get a decent bounce onto the putting surface, but keeping him at 17 feet from the pin with an opportunity for a birdie. So he's going to go ahead and get this thing lined up, sitting at 24 under. And you can see the kind of slope these greens are having. As he lines up way to the outside of the hole, and he's going to drop it in. He drops in the birdie putt from 17 feet to move it to 25 under par. Now we have added on an additional birdie on the second hole, or the third, so we're trying to get another birdie here. as we are at 21 under. Strike that, put it, hits the cup and drops in. Thankfully, we got it from 5 feet away, moving us to 22 under. Still 3 off the lead, though. And it's like no matter what we do, he's just 1 step ahead of us. Now, Cantlay is in 3rd place at 14 under, so we've got a pretty fair gap, so we can be a little risky knowing that we're not going to drop too much if we have to. And this is a kind of hole that presents a perfect opportunity to do that. It does have water on both sides of it, technically off the tee box from the left and on the right side approaching the green. So, and it is a par 5, which gives us an opportunity, if we play it smart, to either walk away with an easy birdie or possibly even get an eagle. So here off the tee, taking our tailor-made 10-degree driver, blasting that thing beautifully with a slight draw, as that will hit and land at 272 yards in the air, and it has some roll, ladies and gentlemen, of 28 yards, getting right to that 300 mark on the money. Now we are the 5th hole here, the par 5. As Scheffler steps up to the tee box, he is our leader still currently. And he's going to hit that one. It's hugging, looks like it's going to be hugging the left side there. But he flies it just far enough to get it on dry land. And he blasts that thing. Talk about, out driving us by 10 yards. The thing landed at 280 and rolled to 310. So we are going to be first up here with an opportunity to go for the green in 2. Now we are sitting 231 yards away from the green. And I'm going to try to, I could hit a 3-wood or even possibly a 5-wood and get set up in a semi-decent angle. But instead, I'm going to try to play it smart, and I'm going to hit a little fade with a 5-iron. Hopefully it takes a bounce. It doesn't really bounce the way I need, but it slows down enough that we're not in too much trouble for our technically approach shot, our 3rd one. Scheffler is going to take his 2nd shot here and try to get this thing lined up. And it looks like he's going to try to play it to the wide side of the green, but he pushes that one a little, and that's going to got to get carried over that water. And it's not going to. He hits off the wooden planks there, and that's going to be in the water hazard, ladies and gentlemen. And so that's going to be a big hit for him, as he's going to now have to drop and hit his 4th shot here from basically the fairway, as this time he aims towards the fat part of the green, and he does fly his 4th one on. But look at this, the backspin and control he has, rolls it to 3 feet. You've got to be kidding me. So he has a good chance to escape out of this with a par. So here comes our 3rd shot, sitting at 35 yards away in the thicker rough. It's not too horrible, but it is definitely within the thicker rough. As we try to get this thing lined up, and looking at the green, the way the spots are moving, I hate seeing that a lot of it breaks towards the water. That's just not something that you really want to see as we get set to take this approach shot and try to figure out how we're going to really play it. Because we do have our 60-degree wedge, right? We've got that in there, but there's also a lot of different other opportunities that we have going with the basic pitch shot. And I decided to stick with this just because it's got less chance of rolling off the back. As we put a good strike to it for our 3rd one, and see, even with the 60-degree wedge, it still rolls quite a distance on a pitch. So tried to land it early, hit it pretty smooth, but just rolled it slightly too far. So now we got a right to left breaker, 12 foot away for birdie, and an opportunity to move closer, but need to take advantage as we hit it, and it's going to get to the low side and hang on the lip. Oh, didn't play enough break and didn't give it enough speed. One of the two, really. As Scheffler is going to step up 25 under for par, and we're going to end up with the same damn score. So when he makes it, and he does, he got it on that right edge of the cup, but we end up with a par on this hole the same way he does. He hit it in the water, and we didn't. So gotta love that. Gotta love that. Play it safe, end with the same score. But keeps us still in contention. We're only 3 shots back. A lot of golf left to play. Lots of golf left to play here. In fact, we're going to move on up to the 9th hole. It's going to be a par 4, about 452 yards with water and bunkers all down the right side. And a pretty kind of twisty turn little fairway to green connection moment there with a really longer than wide green. Now, we have had a couple additional birdies since then and moved ourselves to 24 under, but we are still in second place as we come to the 9th hole. The wind is blowing slightly right to left as we are looking to take our driver. As we put a good, powerful swing behind that one, and it is flowing perfectly into the middle of the fairway. That's going to hit and get some decent roll out of it. As we keep it going here, flying at 270 and getting it over the 300-yard mark on that drive. That's a perfect way we want to see this 9th hole begin, as we now trail by 2. Scheffler sitting at 26 under here for the tournament. Now, Scheffler is getting this thing lined up. He had the mishit on the par 5 that we saw, so you can't really afford another one like that, especially since we have closed the gap. And he takes the driver, and he's going to go play it safer to the left side of the fairway as he lets it roll, and it's going to roll right past mine in great, as he does outdrive me by just a couple yards there. Although, pinpoint to the pin, we got technically the closer angle, so we will go second as Scheffler just steps up. No need for aiming thoroughly, and he blasts that one to the right side of the green, and it will hold on to 10 feet. I'm sitting here measuring my shots really closely, and Scheffler's just stepping up and whacking away at it, and he's hitting it to like within 10 feet. So, all right, with the 9-iron from 143 yards, our second shot on the par 4 9th. Get a pretty good swing on it, but need it to come down softly and stop. It hits and bounces and comes to a stop 8 feet away. Anything he can do, I can do better, as we have put that one within great birdie range. Now, basically, on the other side from where we are in the hole, Scheffler is going to step up for his birdie opportunity. He hits it, doesn't play enough break, and it comes to the low side of the hole and stops just inches away, as that's going to give us an opening opportunity here. Down by 2 strokes in second place with an opportunity to gain 1 back right here. And judging this green is a little difficult. You see the lines real close are smooth and fairly slow, but the ones further away are pretty quick as we strike that one with a little extra strength and knock it in. That's going to give us a 6 under front 9, finishing at 25 under for the first half. Scheffler steps up for a par. For some reason aims oddly to the left when you're 1 inch away and knocks that in. He finishes the front 9 at 3 under and 26 under for the tournament. Still the leader, but only by 1. We have made our charge. We are coming back. Cantley still in 3rd place, nowhere near sniffing us, so we're not going to be worried about him. So the par 4 10th hole, an opportunity for us to make some splashes here if we can get a mistake from Scheffler. But there's enough water on here, we don't want to be the one to make the mistake. Got to be careful on that. So we are going to step up here to the 10th tee box, 405-yard par 4. Plenty of water and bunkers down the left side. Taking our tee shot, we get a good swing behind it, push it down the right side of the fairway. Perfectly where we want it, as that thing does hit, and it is going to roll a decent amount to set us up right in the middle with a great opportunity on the approach shot, 120 yards to the pin. Now here comes Scheffler with a 1-stroke lead, sitting at 26 under, getting the back 9 started here at the 10th. He takes the driver, and he's going to hit that one beautifully right down the middle of this fairway, as that one will hit, and it's going to roll. As you can see, it's approaching my ball, but just deciding no need to get beyond it, and Scheffler is going to be set up with a pretty decent approach shot opportunity as well. So Scheffler comes to with his iron and blasts that one. It's tracking right at the pin. You've got to be kidding me. Little on the far side, but he spins it back and just nuzzles himself closely within 5 feet of the pin, sitting there just giving a little dropper right onto it. So now here comes our approach shot, taking our 50-degree wedge from about 117 yards away is the official measurement. hitting into a slight wind. Need to be careful with the strength of our shot. As we put a good swing behind it, but it doesn't look like it's going to carry far enough. It hits the rough and it rolls into the water. That's disappointing. That's setting us up stressfully. Now I'm going to drop it from the point of entry side because it did land on the far side before it rolled in. So here we come to chip for par. As we swing it, that's going to drift off to the right of the pin. So now we're set up for a bogey, looking to drop a possible shot, while Scheffler's got a birdie, fairly easy birdie opportunity by the looks of it. He's sitting at 26 under. We're at 25, about to become 24, and he's at 26, and he becomes 27. And just like that, we're looking at a two-stroke swing, not in our favor on a single hole because of a approach shot that just didn't want to have enough on it, basically. As we do drop in the birdie or bogey. I mean, it's a good scramble for a bogey, I guess. You hate have to be in that position, but we were. Now we're going to move on up to the par 3 13th hole here, 215 yards with the pin at the very back of the green. Water being on this whole side of it really makes it a dangerous proposition to go after, especially with that pin being nestled into that back corner there. Now coming into this hole, Scheffler is actually sitting at 28 under, adding an additional birdie, but not for long as he pulls that tee shot into the water hazard. Oh, Scheffler, my man, not playing the way you really need to be playing. We did get our birdie back and sit on the previous hole, so we are at 25 under. Now, I'm just aiming for the middle of the green. All right, I'm not doing this whole let's be a hero, go for the pin. We're going for the green. And even over it, I'll take that. As we do hit that 4-iron, and it is going to roll into the rough. Not the easiest chip onto a green, but you know what? It's one of those I will take it when I can get it, especially with Scheffler having gone in the water. He's got to drain this for his par, or else he's about to drop at least one shot. And his par hits, tracking at the pin, hit, and it rolls back. The spin gets the better of him on this one, putting him back to just at about 10 feet from the cup. So now our second shot coming out of the rough. Got to be careful with the speed. This has got potential to get away from us. It's completely downhill all the way to the cup. So we strike down. It's tracking at the cup beautifully, and it misses the rim of it and rolls right past it. Thought we had a chip in for birdie right there, but just was not meant to be on that shot. So here comes Scheffler stepping up for a bogey opportunity. And he eyes this putt carefully. Steps up and swings it, and that ball is tracking towards the cup. Just doesn't have enough on it. He's going to make a double bogey. He is going to double this thing. So if we can come in with a par, it's still a two-shot swing right here for an opportunity to remain at 25 under. Strike that one, and it's going to drop in. Scheffler is going to about to double it. That's going to put him at 26 under. We are back to being one stroke off the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Scheffler 1 inch away for the double bogeys. And he strikes that one and sends it on its way. So he drops down to 26 under, 1 stroke ahead of us at 25 under for the tournament here after we've completed 13. Now we're going to move on up to the 17th hole. It is going to be a par 3, 168 yards here on this par 3. Pretty wide open, but just once again have to be careful because of the water. Scheffler has worked his way back to 28 under. He has kept his lead. We haven't been able to take it from him, but we're going to need some near perfect golf, and he drops that one to just under 11 feet from the pin. Hit and stick, and that's going to put us in quite a position, still sitting at 3 strokes off at 25 under. Coming in here trying to figure out how we want to get, because we know we're going to roll. I'm not going to have it hit and stick the same as Scheffler. We got some roll coming. So we do take an 8-iron, and that one is actually tracking pretty nicely coming up off the ground. It hits, and it kind of does plop right there, putting us within 7 feet of the pin, and an excellent birdie opportunity. Scheffler with the same birdie opportunity, leading by 3 strokes with 2 holes left, But if we can just claim strokes back, anything is possible. Scheffler strikes that one, and it's going to miss the cup. He didn't hit it hard enough. Never up, never in, as the rule goes. So that's going to leave us with about a 7-foot left to right break. Pretty heavily braking, too. As we step up, knock that putt, and we played too much into it, and we hit it too hard. We blow it past the hole. You got to be shitting me. Blow it right past the hole. That's going to get us stuck. As we have to come back with a par opportunity. Knock that one in. That's great. That has happened a lot on this back nine. You know, we had the birdie on earlier, but for the most part on this back nine, it's been missed opportunity after missed opportunity, missed putt after missed putt. And that's led us to where we are right now. So even Scheffler getting the double bogey, you know, we had an opportunity, just couldn't come up with it since then. So we come to the 18th hole here at the American Express, trailing by 3. Now there's plenty of water on it, so there's plenty of shot for Scheffler to chingale this one up. And so hopefully he will, coming into this 18th hole, to give us an opportunity to come in with our first victory of our rookie season here on the PGA Tour. So Scheffler, being the leader, he's going to step up to 28. Actually, golf rules, it's whoever got the best score the most recently before we started tying them. Either way, we're going with, because he's the leader, he's teeing off first at 28 under as he drives that one right down the middle of the fairway and sets him up beautifully 131 yards away from the pin for his approach opportunity. Now here we come up. We want to be a little aggressive with it, but I'm not going to be stupid either. You know, we've got plenty of space between us and third, so it's not like one of those I'm going to lose positions. I just don't want to play like a fool as we start to put some draw on this tee shot here, hopefully to get a pretty beneficial roll out of it. Step up and really hammer that one on home. As that one is flying beautifully, that's going to land and get some good roll out of it. Say adios to Scheffler in the middle of the fairway as we roll right on past him to 306 yards on that tee box, putting us 125 away from the pin. So now here comes Scheffler. His approach shot here at the 18th, needing him to plunk it in the water, and he's going to plunk it right there next to the pin. Within 10 feet, he's actually at around 8 feet away from the cup. So that's good to know. He did not hit it in the water. Kind of takes away our hopes of a victory or a comeback right there. So here we are, 25 under with our approach shot. Taking our 50-degree wedge, put a good solid swing to it. The ball is tracking close. It's going to hit, and it stops and rolls right back. Beautiful shot there. Just about 4 feet from the cup. Gotta love seeing it hit. Just need to go ahead and make a putt. Something we haven't done a whole lot this back nine was making putts. So Scheffler with the 3-stroke lead. He's going to step up. His first putt, he hits it and drops home the birdie. Why not put himself at 29 under? What the hell? Why not? As he seals his victory in there. And here we come for our second place finish. Just wanting to end on a good birdie note. As we strike that one home, and it will drop in, but we do get second place here in our opening tournament as a professional at the American Express. A big-time tournament for us, a great showing. Just need to kind of continue that later on in some other tournaments. Like I said, we're not going to play in every tournament here. We're going to get these seasons kind of going and underway. But that's just kind of where we're at right now and getting set up for the next one, which is actually going to be the Waste Management Tournament. So I look forward to seeing y'all in that tournament, everybody. So as always, stay safe. And, well, y'all know how it goes by now, right? Later, y'all.